Hello and welcome back to our channel. Before starting, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. So let's start. How can you claim to have never tried? Anyone who was committed to doing something or wanting something to be different will eventually see change. As soon as you rearrange things, everything around you will alter. I'm sick and tired of hearing people whine and act like they have no option but to take everything this world wants to throw at them. And of all the things you may suppose drove me to work my tail off and change my life, hunger was one of them. You were actually playing the game of money. But I'll assure you that brain chemistry is the game you're really playing. If I gave you $4 billion tomorrow but you felt suicidal and unworthy on the inside, what would you do? What would the money be used for? On the other hand, if I gave you $3 but you felt content and like you were making a contribution to yourself, your family, and others, you would feel alive within because you would feel that what you were doing matters and that you add meaning. Why does it matter? First, contemplation is what we're truly referring about here. What do you want? Really thinking it through with the power of thought. What do you aspire to be? What abilities do you hope to impart? What kind of service would you like to provide to the world? The second is action consistency. In order to start creating that outcome in the outside world as well as in your own body and mind. That is very significant. The third quality is bravery. Because it takes bravery to try to improve a tiny bit of yourself. Do what you normally do, you know. So many people are, what I call, playing the game while looking at the scoreboard, watching, like every play, they're looking up to see where they are. And I mean, you can't scoreboard, watch and play the game at the same time, you got to play the game, they're so worried about. Is this going to be my year is just going to, like they spent so much time concentrating, or when the big one is going to happen, and a lot of us are waiting around for the appropriate time as we wait to feel prepared, fearless, and confident. And you won't change the way your life appears, not ever, never, ever. Only the interaction is altered. How many persons have you encountered in your life that you consider extraordinary or amazing? Yet they are so profoundly sad that they are suffering from depression. Right now, there is a mental health pandemic. You nearly always know someone who struggles with anxiety or depression. People don't comprehend the game they're playing, and you're playing his game of brain chemistry because of this. Once you realize that it's an attitude and a flow of chemicals to your brain, you can start organizing your life in a way that actually makes sense. It's time to mature. I want you to succeed. The individual thinking up the excuses thinks they sound the best. I always say that you can never win a war by avoiding conflict. Irrespective of what it is, you must take responsibility for your actions and confront reality. Despite your best efforts, reality will always be present. If you stop, things will change, or if it doesn't, she will be correct, and you will have to face it. And I consider that fantastic. I believe the reason why people are perplexed is because they are grinding with gold. Although I'm not suggesting you should not have gold, Brian emphasized that you should grind because it is what you do. You take pride in what you do. You start each day with the idea that you have 24 hours, and those 24 hours are yours and belong to you. And wherever I am tomorrow and the following day will depend on what I do during the next 24 hours. And I believe you should concentrate on that. Like I don't want to make 6 figures, do you? I want to live in his house and drive his automobile. I believe that people should be concentrating on the fact that I have 24 hours, during which time I can even make or break their lives. Yes, motivation is quite helpful. If you're feeling inspired, but it's rubbish. And waiting until you feel ready is a lost gamble. Because neither your brain nor your body are built that way. I want everyone to be aware of that. First of all, you have no control over the triggers, your subsequent feelings of fear and hopelessness, or your overall emotional state. When you start to feel uncertain, remember that you always have the power to change how you're thinking and acting by taking charge of the situation right away. We are criticizing ourselves. Everyone fails at something, am I right? We all have weaknesses and strengths, for example. Why don't we just audit that, I ask myself. Why don't we simply look at it that way and say, well, I'm excellent at this, but I'm not good at that, so then I only focus on what I'm good at. To the people that matter to me, I wish them misery, sickness, cruel treatment, and humiliation. I have no sympathy for them and would prefer that they become familiar with the depths of self-disgust, the agony of self-doubt, and the misery of the defeated. Because I want to give them the one thing that can demonstrate to us today whether or not we are worth anything: endurance. A little bit, so you can get up the next day and continue working. I'm simply a person who thinks you get what you sow, you know. There must be a solution if you grind every day for 5 or 6 years, whether it be on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or whether you grind 6 or 7 days a week. You might believe that starting something requires courage or confidence. Actually, all you need to do is get started. And that is the life's puzzle. Lying in bed and expecting to be inspired to change some morning. That is not the solution. You actually need to learn how to push yourself and how to maximize the influence of your choices. And you need to learn how to act when you don't feel entirely in love with yourself. If I don't criticize myself, but I also have a deep love for everyone else. Right? It doesn't work like that. It works both ways. I advise people to believe in me since I subscribe to the first print that claims everyone makes a big deal out of trivial matters. It's viewpoint. You see, I'm selfish because I'm also unselfish. People who were born into money and those who were born into the same network as I was both exist. However, here's the catch. I can outwork you despite the fact that I don't have what they do. As a result, if you get up at 3 in the morning and, as nice as you are, you run errands, accumulate wealth, and take advantage of opportunities, I'll have a 5-hour head start on you and we'll beat you to the punch. I'm going to arrive before you. That is the main focus. Such is life. That is how people are by nature. The majority of people believe Charles Darwin to have claimed that the strongest survive. What Darwin did say, and imprint this in your neural system, was that it was sent years after his death. According to Darwin, the species that survives aren't the most clever or the strongest. Rather, it's the one that is most adaptable to change. You have the ability to discern what you desire and what you ought to do. But how can you force yourself to accomplish something when you lack the drive and feelings to do it? Therefore, I'm going to state that I promise this year might be the best of your life if he probed more. Not that you aren't executing, mind you. But if you want to execute 100% of the time, I'm telling you that you'll probably increase your revenue by another comma just by carrying out your plans as planned and in a timely manner. Whether or if you guys dream isn't interesting. It doesn't matter to me if you dream. I have no curiosity at all. Do you have the courage to fail, which is what matters to me? I wasn't telling myself to get out of bed since it would help me start my day when I was lying in bed. Right? Do I feel like getting up? I asked. This is it for today's video. What do you think of our video? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. Thanks for watching.